So if I multiply 2 by x plus 3, I need to make sure the 2 multiplies on the x and the 2 multiplies on the positive 3. 2 times x is just going to be 2x. The exponents on the x doesn't change because it's not x times x, it's just 2 times x. And then 2 times 3 is positive 6, and that comes along for the ride. And then after you've distributed, the brackets go away. And we can move forward with some of the new skills we've looked at. If I have a negative out front like this is the same as distributing what? Yeah, this is the same thing as multiplying -1 everywhere. And all that's going to do is change whatever signs are on the inside here. So if I take -1 and I multiply it here, it's going to become -2x. -1 times positive 3 is going to become -3. So that was distribution. So let's do a couple examples of how distribution shows up in algebra here. So now I've got stuff like this. 2 and then in brackets y plus 5 equals 16. I've got stuff like this. And we're going to start with everything that we've done already. Variables on both sides, collecting like terms. All of it is going to be part of everything we do moving forward here. I'm going to do these 4 examples and I'm going to send you off to practice. So if I've got 2 bracket y plus 5 equals 16, there are 2 ways we can do this question. I will show you both of them. The first way we can do this question is by doing what I've just demonstrated. I've got 2, I've got a set of brackets, this is multiplied together, so I'm going to distribute that 2 onto everything inside the brackets, and when the brackets close, we're done. Like I don't keep multiplying the 2 everywhere, I just multiply into the brackets and I stop when I get to the end of the brackets. So 2 times y is 2y, 2 times 5 is positive 10, and that's just going to equal 16. And now this is something we did yesterday, relatively easy to solve. What am I going to do here first? I'm going to minus 10. Positive 10 minus 10, gone. I have 2y equals 16 minus 10 is 6. Cool. And now I've got 2y equals 6. What do? How are the 2 and the y attached? Yes, Delcron. They're attached with multiplication, so to undo that, I need to divide. Divide by 2, divide by 2. We're going to get y equals 3. Okay, that is one way to tackle this question. Let me show you another. There is something nice about how this question is laid out. I'm going to show you what we've got here. We've got 2 times y plus 5 equals 16. When we have this particular scenario, and the scenario looks like this number here that we're distributing in, and this number over here on the other side of the equal sign are divisible by each other. 16 is divisible by 2, specifically. And so because of this, when I've got 2 times y plus 5, and this thing over here is divisible by this thing that we're distributing in, some of you might like to see that there's actually a shortcut we can make here. Rather than distribute this thing in, we can just divide this side and this side by 2. When I do this division, this cancels, and we're going to get just y plus 5 on this side, and then 16 divided by 2 is what? 8. And now we've only got one step. Y plus 5 equals 8, so I'm going to take away 5, and we get y equals 3. So when you have this very specific sort of scenario, when the thing that you're distributing in and the thing on the other side of the equal sign, if one is a multiple of the other, being able to do the division before you distribute can save you guys some work. And you get the same result either time. Is this, let's move on to the next one. Is this one of those questions where we could do that? Yeah, because negative 9 is divisible by 3. So again, I'll demonstrate it both ways just to get you guys a little bit more comfortable with it perhaps. First, I'll do the distributive way, and then I'll do the this is divisible by this way. So if I'm going to distribute, I'm going to multiply this 3 onto everything inside those brackets on the right-hand side there. So I'm going to get negative 9 equals 3 times 2 is 6, and then 3 times negative y is negative 3y. To isolate the side for y, what am I going to do first? You've suggested 3 things. One of them is correct. Which one? Yeah, this 6 here. So the mistake that I often see here is, actually, Juno, you just demonstrated all of them, so I appreciate that. Some students will go, I want to divide by negative 3. Well, you don't want to touch the term that contains your variable until everything else is gone. Some students they'll immediately get, yes, okay, I'm going to add 6. Well, they want to add 6 because they see this negative sign here. But adding 6 to positive 6 is just going to make this thing 12. So then, Juno, the last thing you said was, I'm going to subtract by 6. That is the correct choice. This 6 here is positive, so I'm going to take 6 away from both sides. 6 minus 6, gone. Negative 9 minus 6, almost, Charlie. Negative 15, sweet. Negative 15 equals negative 3y. This is a minus sign that I see arbitrarily dropped all the time. Just because we got rid of this 6 doesn't mean this minus sign goes anywhere. So this has got to stay. I've got negative 3y. I'm going to divide now by negative 3. I'm going to divide by negative 3, leaving us with what over here? Almost. Negative divided by negative is going to be positive, and 15 over 3 is 5. So 5 equals y. Cool. I'll show you what it would look like to have divided first. I'll rewrite the question out here. Rather than distribute this 3 in, because this number here is divisible by the thing that we're multiplying in, we are allowed to take the shortcut here of dividing both sides by what we're multiplying in. What that's going to do is it's going to cancel those 3's. 3 divided by 3 is 1. Multiplying by 1 doesn't change anything. And I've got negative 9 over 3. Negative 9 over 3 is going to be, negative divided by positive is negative. 9 over 3 is 3. So I'm going to get negative 3 equals 2 minus y. That's my next step. Want me to move the 2? Okay, how? Okay, subtract both sides by 2. So I'm going to get negative 5. Negative 3 minus 2 is negative 5 equals 2 minus 2 is gone. That minus sign needs to stay attached to that y. So I'm going to get negative 5 equals negative y. I don't want negative y, I just want y. So how do I get the y by itself as a positive y? Whenever you got just a negative variable, you can multiply or divide by one thing to make this thing positive. Sorry? That'll square these things. I don't want to do that. Not 1. Almost 1. It's negative. I want to make it positive. A negative times what is going to be, we're going to multiply by negative 1 here. Negative 5 times negative 1, positive 5. Negative y times negative 1, positive y. And we're done. Comments, questions, concerns about what I've just done? Hayden, wake up. Okay, I'll do a couple more, 2 more, and then I will free you to play. Once the questions start to get a little bit bigger, we can't. Hello. What's going on?